Today I'm going to be talking about in what ways does our trailer develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products. So to start off with, our opening scene has a femme fatale putting on red lipstick, and this is a typical convention of the film noir femme fatale, because they're usually wearing quite a lot of makeup, quite done up, and the colour red also represents danger and suggests that she is a dangerous woman, and typically in film noir the femme fatales are usually quite dangerous. As you can see, she's also wearing quite dark eye makeup, which makes her look very done up, which conforms to the convention that the femme fatale will use her sexuality to get her own way. Here you can see she's wearing red nail varnish, which also connotes the danger of the femme fatale. This shot gives the audience an insight into the narrative, as it's an over-the-shoulder shot, but it's a low angle of the man looking up to the femme fatale, which shows that she could potentially have power over him, which gets the audience asking questions and keeps them interested. Here we've used a shot of a city at night, which conforms to the generic convention of film noir, which is being set in an urban scene. We also took this idea from Nightcrawler, as we thought that it was set in a city at night, and we thought that these shots worked really well, such as this shot. We tried to imitate it, and because we thought that it looked really good. We play. Yeah.
You don't give me any attention anymore.
In this shot back here, we played around with the lighting. We turned down all the lights in the room and took advantage of the lighting from the candle. We used the dull lighting to represent the breakdown of their relationship, and this is a typical convention of film noir, as the genre usually likes to portray the narrative to the audience through light. For example, in this shot in Brick, it uses lighting to emphasise the character in the phone box here, and it tries to portray how the character's feeling with the lighting, which you can see is quite down, quite dark.
It's over between us.
Don't you dare leave me!
We used this shot to reinforce that the trailer was set in urbanisation and to show the contrast between light and dark, which is often used in film noir.
Why can't you just leave him?
In this shot, we have Adam say to Emily, "Why can't you just leave him?" and he gets no response. This shows that the femme fatale's manipulative, secretive side, which are two generic conventions of a femme fatale in the film noir genre.
Why can't you just leave him?
This shot here is very typical of the film noir genre, as we have the femme fatale in heavy makeup with an over-the-top fur coat, and she is smoking, which are all three key conventions that are used to represent the femme fatale in film noir. For example, in this shot from Chinatown, you can see that the femme fatale is smoking, so it's quite a typical convention to be used to represent the femme fatale. Here is another shot of a character smoking, which is very typical of film noir, as usually almost all of the characters will be smoking at least once. This is our first title, and it conforms to the generic convention of film noir, as we have the use of the colour black, and it's very dark. We use the title to help the audience depict the narrative and to show the contrast between what Adam wants and between what the femme fatale wants, to show that she's manipulating him into getting what she wants, which is a typical convention of the femme fatale. As you can see, the title "He Wanted Love" is placed after this shot of Adam, and "She Wanted a Way Out" is placed after the shot of Emily, to show the contrast between what the two characters want. This shot here of drugs, a gun and money is very conventional of film noir, as it connotes crime and danger, which are two typical conventions of film noir. For example, the neo-noir film Blade Runner has the use of a gun quite a bit, as you can see in this shot here.
I told you to get me that money.
We have a shot of Ben saying, "I told you to get me that money" here, suggesting that it's to do with drugs or some sort of crime, which is, again, a typical convention of film noir. Yeah. Moving on.
We need to stop sneaking around.
Here we have a transition with the femme fatale and her husband and the man that she's now having an affair with, which shows her manipulative side and shows that she's using them both to get what she wants.
The only way I can be with you is if you kill him. You won't let me leave him. If you want to be with me, you do it. You need to shoot him and take his body to an unknown place. He will be at Gillen Drive at midnight tonight. The police won't be about, so you'll be safe. Do it for me.
So we've used this piece of dialogue as a voiceover to explain to the audience the narrative and to make them aware of the femme fatale's deceitful plan, as it's very common for a femme fatale in the film noir genre to have some sort of manipulative, deceitful plan to get her own way. Also, we've used shots like this.
Gillen Drive at midnight tonight. The police won't be about.
We've used handheld shots like this to create a sense of disorientation, as a typical convention of film noir is to build up the tension for the audience and to make them feel disorientated.
Do it for me. It's all been set up. He's completely clueless. I'll be rich in a few hours.
So this scene with Emily talking to an unknown person gives the audience an insight into her plan, as none of the other characters know. This helps the audience to understand what the femme fatale is now up to, which helps them to follow the narrative a lot better. We've faded out the music here so that we could emphasise the importance of this scene, and we then faded the music back in with intense music showing the build-up of the narrative, as it's very typical of the film noir genre to build and build up on the narrative. Here we have a shot of Ben punching someone, and this conforms to the typical convention of film noir, which is violence. For example, neo-noir film Drive has a lot of violence, as you can see here in this shot that this man is covered in blood. The cuts are now a lot faster, building up the pace of the trailer, which fits with the music so that they both build up together, gradually building up tension for the audience. This shot shows the significance of the shot of the Brighton Eye earlier on, as we can now see that this is where her husband is going to die. We've made Ben look small and very dark to convey to the audience that he is in danger and he has lost his power. Again, using a film noir convention of using light to portray the situation that someone's in and to portray the narrative to the audience. The gun here in itself is a typical convention of film noir, as guns are a key convention that you see in almost every film of the film noir genre. We have made use of lighting in this scene by placing a bright lamp just over the character's head and turned off the lights everywhere else to emphasise the importance of him with the gun and make the audience aware that this scene is of importance.
Someone's going to kill my husband.
This shot shows the true personality of the femme fatale and that she is very evil and will do anything to get her own way. The audience now know that she has set up this man to kill her husband. We've repeated the opening shot from a different angle and placed it towards the end here. Having the femme fatale putting on lipstick as a signifier that she was planning something and now her plan has commenced and she has got what she wanted. The red lipstick connotes her dangerous plan. We then see a shot of the gun being dropped, which creates suspense for the audience as they aren't shown who it is that's dropped the gun, and suspense is a key convention of film noir, as it needs to keep the audience interested and keep them asking questions. Here we have the film title. We took the idea of the smoke around the titles from the neo-noir trailer Brick, and we thought this worked really well as it could represent the smoke from a cigarette, which is a typical convention of the film noir genre. Finally, we have a credit block at the end, as this is a typical convention of all trailers and it is seen in pretty much all of them.